Hey everyone, how's it going? Elliot here again. In today's video, we are going to be checking out 5 Game Boy accessories that are still made today in 2019 for under $5 and pounds actually, and none of these actually exceed that. So without any further ado, let's get into the first one. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is this invisible piece of plastic here. What this actually is a gel TPU case for a Game Boy Color. Which is actually really cool because I've got this really nice backlit AGS 101. Actually, no, sorry, this is the McWill backlit kit. So if you haven't checked that out, I'll leave it in the card up in the corner. And then a guy called Raw Retro, Rob, did this really nice custom paint job on the back of it, and it's actually going to be very nice to protect that with this gel TPU case. So let's go ahead and just chuck the Game Boy in there and see how it feels. Typically, Game Boys don't really get dropped too often. I guess, you're really usually playing it sat down, so if you did drop it, it'd sort of fall into your lap. It's not like a phone where you have it up to your ear and you're pulling it out of your pocket all the time. But having it in a case does mean that, you can protect a nice sort of paint job, and also it just makes it look sort of brand new because it covers up any sort of scratches. So that actually looks very good there. You've got full access to your battery door at the bottom, although I actually probably would have preferred it if they'd covered that up, because how often are you going to be replacing batteries? Maybe quite a lot actually with the McWill backlight kit. And then there's a perfect cutout for the Game Boy cartridge to go in and out, and then big cutouts for all of the different buttons and everything else like that. You don't have a lanyard cutout though anymore, so if you're using a lanyard you won't have that, and also a cutout for the IR port. So very nicely made. I think that actually came in at about £3, so very nice. Before we go off the theme of gel cases, if you're a Game Boy Advance lover, they've also made one for the Game Boy Advance. I think it's really cool that they're doing this. I mean, how many people are actually, buying these sort of Game Boys anymore, and how many people are then going to want to buy a case for it? So pretty nice that they've done this. So this one, actually, I can already notice one difference that we just spoke about. Let me put it on. Goes on quite easily, to be honest. There we go. That looks really goddamn good. I love those. They're super cool. Big cutout for the battery, headphone, volume wheel, power switch, L&R, not even remotely affected. You don't have your cutout for any sort of accessories to plug in on top. Nice big cutout for the game cartridges. But the difference with this one is that you do actually get a lanyard cutout. So I don't know if they forgot the lanyard cutout on that, or if having it on this sort of corner here was going to be quite difficult for them to do, but yeah, I mean, they just look beautiful. Really nice. They also made them in a few different colors, I think pink, green and black, and maybe even blue. So that is a really nice way to finish off my rechargeable backlit AGS 101 Game Boy Advance. Really cool, coming in at around £3 each. We're going to look at a slightly different accessory. This is actually a kit to take your Game Boy apart. Now, I think this was super cheap. If I remember correctly, this was like £4 or something like that. So let's see what we get inside. So we have a suction cup, pretty handy if you want to take off your screen lens. You can stick that on there and pull it off. Also comes with a guitar pick pry tool. Again, you can use that for your screen lens. That would prevent you from having to take the whole Game Boy apart potentially. And then there's an actual sort of tire lever type spudger tool here, and all of this stuff is pretty high quality. It's definitely worth that price tag. And then we've got a little brush, which is actually really useful for cleaning pins, and it actually does get in there very easily and well. So that is actually really cool. I'll definitely be getting quite a lot of use out of that. There's also a bendy tool. So the way that this works is you get your bit, you put it on the end, and then you get your other bit in there like that, and then you can actually have it at an angle and turn the screw. I don't really know why you'd want that. Maybe it's more comfortable for you, I don't know, but it looks a little bit funny and you get a little bit less precision in my opinion. And then we've got the different bits here. So let's take a look at what we have. So the first one is a small sort of torque bit, which is quite nice to have. And then there's another torque bit. And then there is a Phillips bit. All of these are really nice and high quality. This one's actually quite a long piece, which is good because I had a problem with my PSP once where I didn't have a screwdriver that was long enough to get into that. So that will definitely do the job there. Then we've got both GameBit pieces actually as well, which is, or GameBit bit as they're called, or just the GameBit, which is really, really nice. That's very, very cool to have those. And last but not least, and quite importantly, a tri-wing, although this is quite a small tri-wing screwdriver, although I think it'll definitely do the job. And then to go with that, you have this very nice metal sort of screwdriver, very similar to most of the ones that people use online. And I think that comes in at about £5, so or £4 or £5. So very nice little kit there, quite cheap. You know, it's just presented to you in a plastic bag, but hey ho, does the job. Put it in a toolkit and you're well on your way to repairing Game Boys. Next up, we have something quite crucial for the Game Boy game collectors. These are some plastic Game Boy cases. Buying your Game Boy games is obviously, you know, quite an expensive task, and you definitely want to keep them in good condition, and you can do that with these aftermarket Game Boy cases. Cheap and cheerful. I think again these came in at around £3 or £4. Most of this stuff is going to come from China, so be prepared for quite a long wait time. But yeah, very, very nice. I think I got 5 of them here, which is just a pretty good number just to get you going. You can buy them in bigger numbers, but obviously sticking to my under £5 theme, I wanted to get just 5. And then this final one really isn't an accessory, although it sort of could be looked at as an accessory. This is a shell replacement for the Game Boy Color. Now, I picked this up for, I believe, $3.99, but it might have even been $2.99. So it's super, super cheap. I mean, immediately we've got these 2 screwdrivers here. We've got a Phillips and a tri-wing. And these things aren't really great, don't get me wrong. You're definitely going to want to buy the actual better kit, but they do the job. They definitely do the job, and they'll last long enough to do one job. We've also got a Game Boy Color sticker in here. And then inside this bag, I mean, this is ridiculous for £3. Even the buttons in here, you know, buying replacement Game Boy Color buttons isn't even £3. So that is very crazy. We've got a replacement screen lens, which is nice. It's pretty flimsy and cheap. It would probably scratch quite easily. And then inside, we've got our buttons. We've got the power switch, the IR port, cover the D-pad, and the A and B buttons. Happy days. And then yeah, oh, and the screws as well, although always use official Nintendo screws, don't ever bother using these, go straight in the bin. But look at that. Does it come with the battery contacts? Yes, it does. Battery contacts in there as well as the shield. I mean, bloody hell, for £3, that is extremely good. And this does not look too bad at all. The Nintendo logo looks very, very good there in the middle. The speaker grill doesn't have any sort of spider webbing plastic. Hopefully you have all enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think is your favorite Game Boy accessory for under £5. If you did enjoy the video and you're new to the channel, please leave a like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.